and Meneski Event Team.
Welcome back to live coverage of ESL One Genting 2018, live from Kuala Lumpur right now, downtown Kuala Lumpur. You can see the Petronas Towers on the screen right now. We are coming to you live from a studio courtesy of our friends at Meneski for the next couple of days as we get through the group stages, but we will be heading up into the highlands very shortly, some 6,000 feet above sea level for the highest esports tournament in the world. I already know what you're thinking, not that kind of high. Calm down. Things going off in the other game right now. Meneski and LFY are also playing in the lower bracket. Meneski lead by a game to 0 in that game as well. So who will go through in these two games? Very nicely poised indeed. Right now we're going to focus here on Penta versus Evil Geniuses. If you're just joining us, you've missed a stunning display of Dota 2 from the Penta boys as they take the lead 1-0 in this one, and the draft is just around the corner. We're back with Fog and the Haz here at the desk to take a look at that second draft. Alan, expectations going into game 2? All on the line for EG?
Yeah, I think EG needs to step back, take a breath, and come back to that game, into the second game with a more reasonable game plan, because I think they had a draft that could win. I think they gave themselves a very, very good shot coming out of the draft, but you know, as we've seen in certain other contexts over the last couple of days, you can have a great strategic plan, and if you execute it really, really badly, you're going to have trouble.
Fog, a couple of people already asked me in the break, how is this team able to reach a grand final 3 days ago and then look so rubbish today? How can you answer that?
It just happens sometimes, man.
Dota 2, man.
It's just Dota. You have a bad... I think players have said it all the time, right? Sometimes you just have a really bad day and any team can beat you.
And how many times have we said, and I hate harping on about it, because I still don't think this is a thing, but the evidence is there. EG never have good first days at tournaments. They never turn up and hit the ground running.
It's day 2, though.
Well, I mean, it's...
Well, I know, but...
and you got a winner, you're going home, so...
Kind of day
I'm
one.
just messing. No, I think they definitely played poorly, but I don't want to take the credit away from Penta.
No,
I'll be honest.
that's the
Sure,
problem
EG
here,
had a rough one, but that was really good movements by Penta, and I think... well, not at draft yet, but I think a key to that success was actually this sanking. Them having this kind of hero that just enables them to get that aggression going.
So Bulber identifies that, immediately says to the guys, look, just get rid of the sanking straight away. Don't mess around, just get rid of it in the first part of the ban.
I think it won't let them enable that Lifestealer, because I think now they're going to look and they're going to be, this Lifestealer is actually a bit threatening, but what actually made him so threatening?
Yes.
It's that sanking.
Yeah. And Sam's going to figure that out.
It was the play.
So.
It was the play around him, 100%.
Yep.
Okay. What else from Penta? What do they have up their sleeve, do you think?
I think they should stick with... I think this comfort that they had a couple weeks ago, like you were mentioning, this is what they were drafting like 2-3 weeks ago, and they were kind of up on the rise, and people were like, oh, damn, Penta, who are these guys? So I think this is what they should be doing. These like heroes, like we were saying, like Sanking DNZ was most popular, but then they switched it up. They put him on the Kunkka. So I think just like having these super comfort heroes like that.
Okay, well, EG are still worried about the Bruise, so that's gone. And the Terrorblade for Penna.
And again, if you look toward the end of the draft, like what I liked so much about the draft a couple of weeks ago was that sort of flex pick variation where you had heroes like Kunkka that they played in multiple roles, and even when you saw all 5 of the heroes, you still weren't 100% sure what their lanes were going to be. I think that's part of what forces those errors by EG where you end up sacking the Dragonite without a clear plan to get him back in the game.
It's an Earth Spirit ban.
Okay.
So Tusk is left.
I love the fact that you were leaning in towards the TV and,
that one's hard.
And squinting to see.
That one's a hard one to see.
That's easy for me. I can get that one.
Oh,
It's some of the dark ones. Like, I can't tell what that is second down
They
after
took
Brew.
out the Lifestealer instead.
Can't see. What is it?
Okay.
They took out
Brew Chaos Knight and
Chaos Knight,
yeah, CK Lifestealer. And they still take the Sanking right away anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. So they, instead of identifying what gave the Lifestealer the game, they've just gotten rid of it so they can stop, because they might have something else that can help it, right? So
I think it was one of the two they had to take out this time around.
Yeah.
So now Tusk is left ignored.
Okay, and they've gone back for the PL, but this time with a Bane.
Because Bane was banned in the first 3 the last time.
Right.
And that, I mean, Bane is a hero that we've been seeing banned a lot because of that impact in the laning phase.
Good misery hero as well.
Yeah, actually one of my favorite misery heroes, to be honest, from back when he was playing years ago.
Yeah, I agree.
He's
He's
really
very
good.
disruptive in the lane.
Yeah,
I still have more memorable Rubik games from Misery than anything else.
Now, I still, my favorite Misery games are always when he's just a lane bully. I think that's when he's at his best. When he's just like, all right, I'm gonna pick this enemy core and I'm just gonna ruin his game. I'm gonna ruin his game. Now, again, you see the Leshrac. Again, a little bit of flex value coming out from Penta early on. They're not sure whether this Lesh is going to be core support.
This was kind of, I don't want to call it meta, but it was kind of part of the decision making in the draft process 3 months ago. 5 months ago, even back to TI, some of the teams were already doing this kind of like our first two are flexible.
Oh no, this is
but in the last couple of weeks, it seems that teams have started to move away from it, and now it's back again.
But it always does that. It oscillates.
Yeah.
I remember when I started, when I did a video breaking it down exactly the time that you're talking about, and Milk gave me a ton of crap. He's like, "This is something that we've been doing since back at Dota 1."
Admittedly, he did say, that they have been doing it way back, and it comes in and out of favour. But this seems to have changed in the last few weeks.
I can't believe I just said Jacob is right on a stream, but
you take that back immediately.
Yeah.
Look at this. EG has a lot of fear against what Penta was playing before.
I see what you did there.
A lot of fear. Yeah, he came on the screen. Now it's not the word I was going to use, but it just came right in there. Yeah, I know. So they do take out that Kunkka, and I actually wanted to talk about the Kunkka a bit too, because we were talking about how PL, he goes in and he shreds, right, in these fights.
Yes.
But if there's a Kunkka boat on top and you can survive it, then you start finding out which that real PL is with all that AoE. So that was actually, we were talking about how good Arc was at finding that PL in all these instances of team fights, and I think that helped a lot.
What do you make of it? So, what do you make of these Phase 2 bans from Penta? The Tinker and Nyx ban's not the direction that I necessarily expected them to go.
I think they want the OD again.
Okay, that's what I was curious about.
I mean,
and after all this, the Elder Titan's still on the table. And I like this a lot. I like this a lot. EG are going to take the Tusk off the table. And yes, this is the hero that he broke into the pro scene with at the Frankfurt Major in 2015.
And I'm much happier seeing a Tusk Bane duo than a Dazzle plus anything. Because like I said yesterday, I'm not crazy about Dazzle. It can have some moments of success and everything, but I'm not crazy about it.
In the metas that I've liked Dazzle, it's been the metas where I felt like Dazzle had a huge influence on the lanes. Like if you remember how Fly used to push it, play it in the dual off lane.
Right? It's only Fly,
but
right?
he'd play it in a dual off lane, and he'd use Shadow Wave to just keep that enemy safe lane carry last hitting under tower at all times. I don't feel like in this meta, the Dazzle games that I've seen, that he's had that big impact on the lanes.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is an old. Look
Penta.
at this! You were right, dude. Fog, you called
throwing
this.
it back to what they like to play.
Absolutely, and in fact, team fight.
Yeah, bam.
You not only did you said go back to what they like, but you said focus on the team fight, and that's exactly what they've done.
I think that's the best way to play against teams. Like I'm sure Penta's not like we're better than EG. Like right away coming into this, they might be okay. We have a good shot versus them, but that's one of the aspects you want to take versus teams that you think maybe you have a slighter edge versus you. You take these team fight heroes, and if you do well in your lanes, then naturally it should work out.
But it's all, I really do have to go back to this. It's all about having a team identity. How do we win? What do we do well? When do we feel confident in these games? Because it is a mental game. It's momentum. And Penta say, look, we're a team. We like to win fights.
So I'll ask you another question just because we had Darkseer picked on. Do you like Darkseer? I don't like Darkseer.
No, not at all. In this meta, no. But I think it's a hero that can have a really good impact, but I think that I thought Darkseer derives most of his value from being very self-sufficient as an offlaner, and in this meta where we have all of these shenanigans with all the crazy pulls in the offlane, you kind of don't need Darkseer. I just feel like a lot of his value gets lost.
His Iron Shell just feels super weak to your level 5 and 7. It's like the level 1 and 2 Iron Shell does absolutely nothing.
Well, his spells have always scaled kind of poorly. It doesn't help that Vacuum cooldown gets nerfed 37 times.
Yeah, at least now they have the Wombo combo, that's the only way I like to see Darkseer. You have these massive stun combos on top of it. And Sanking Darkseer is a classic old school one to just defend tier 1s, defend towers. You can just decimate a fight.
If you're Penta, do you actually double back for Tiny? And
they
Tiny
don't play
becomes
it though. That's the one thing that confuses me. They don't pick it.
It's so good here, though.
They just don't pick it. I mean, I can agree, but I don't see these guys playing it much. They ban it. Like they banned it first 2 versus some teams. That's what the thing that scares me. I'm thinking they might go for. It was Lycan was ignored. Okay.
All right. So they're gonna. All right. RTZ
49
and 14. on Lycan in competitive play. This is, I believe, the highest win percentage of any player-hero combination bar the Universe Void.
And when it wasn't good.
Yeah. And I was going to say that I was literally like, it was out of my mouth as they were picking it, because Lycan versus Darkseer, I love this matchup because you just sustain through those ion shells. You do not care.
So, okay, so if it's not going to be a tiny... Another hero I don't like in this meta, but I think fits here, is maybe Sven.
Sven, yeah. Especially with Darkseer. I think that's the obvious one. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And this is something that that Penta have run before.
Look at that Wombo combo, too. We got some triple stuns coming out on Penta with a vacuum. There is a Tusk, though. That throws a bit of a change up here, because now if you do want to do those combos, if this Tusk is in a good position, you can just really change the tides of those.
I hate that I'm going to be in this situation again now at the end of this draft. That I'm going to be in a situation where I have a bunch of heroes on one side that I don't particularly like, but I got a team that they go well together and knows how to play them. I hate Sven right now.
I hate Sven right now. But I think he's really good versus both PL and Lycan.
Yes,
he has his moments. If you're ahead, I mean, sure, that's the beauty of Dota, of course, but. You know, if PL's super ahead of a Sven, then Sven's bad versus PL. But if Sven's really good over, like, a little bit over a PL, then PL's not good versus Sven. So they do take out that OD anyway from EG, kind of expected.
That's a really good ban.
Just from the bans that Penta showed, I think you kind of have to.
So who's your mid now as Penta? What are you going to go back to?
Do you think they don't push this Lesh mid?
So they banned the CK, didn't they?
I don't think they will, but I think it's still an option.
Yeah, I actually think with this lineup that you don't need to commit to Corelesh.
Oh. Well, they've still got the Omni.
Yeah, but you're already Darkseer is already your 3.
They didn't ban Medusa either, did they?
I mean, you could do something totally stupid and go back for Core Kunkka. That's
they do like it.
That's just insane.
No, because it's banned.
Oh yeah, they banned it there.
Second phase this time, wasn't it, by EG? Along with the Ench.
I don't know.
What about the Tiny?
See, we've talked about that though, and they just don't run it.
Oliver's played it. Only once, but still.
Table. I so like it.
I mean, nothing that he plays.
If you feel confident in it at all, I still really like it.
But nothing he plays is left on the table that he plays often. Like, it's either banned or already picked in there, like the CK, the Lifestealer, the Lycan. Those are 3 of his top heroes.
I don't know,
so he's going to have to play something slightly out of his will.
Fox, help me out here, man.
I'm thinking. I don't know. I think we said the ones that were like the most obvious ones. They're still genuinely thinking about it. I think they're still debating what they want to do, who they want to core.
I guess you could Queen, but she is so bad.
Ooh.
Oh, well, God, of course. All right.
That's good versus a Lycan.
I'm down with it. And they even picked it against Kingwin a couple weeks. Yeah, this is... Yeah.
Okay.
They're really a lot in on the Sven, though, on Penta.
They are, but I feel like they can... I feel like unless it goes... I feel like unless the game goes fairly late, they can win without Sven being super huge. If they execute fights like the way they did in the last game.
Alright, so where did EG go for their offlane?
Well...
Because the puck's
EG don't necessarily have to... Okay, they are going to pick a classical offlaner, and now you go back to the question of who's playing what. So I guess Sumail's going to be your Bat Rider?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sumail Bat.
Crit
Fear
PL,
RTZ Lycan. Yeah, it's a pretty standard,
I would think.
But if Fear PL mid against Timber,
sack lane again.
I
put Bat mid, dual lane off lane with the PL, Lycan safe lane. They're gonna.
I feel like I should give you a question that's not related to predicting the outcome of this game, but instead predicting where they lane again.
I think Bat's gonna be mid. I think they're gonna find
be mid.
I think they're gonna try to find where the Timber is, and they're gonna try to get the Bat matchup versus Timber.
What does Sumail play then? Sumail plays mid.
I will give you $10 if you're right. I'm so. That's actually a really impressive call. Makes sense.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. There's some cash going to exchange hands or something, so I'm getting out of here very quickly. Let's head back to the commentary team for game number 2. EG all on the line, or can Penta claim their place in the semi-finals of the lower bracket? Let's find out.
Thank you very much, Red Iron. Here we have it, a very exciting game 2 coming up.
Yes, it is.
And the draft from EG We're seeing the PL again, but we are seeing this sort of change up in the other cores. We have the Lycan and the Bat, and as Fog said, there's a lot of different potential where they could lane this, because we've seen the Sumail Bat in the past, and he can certainly do it.
That's all I'm excited for. I just want to see if Fog gets his $10, honestly. That's the real victory of the day here, but Penta looking to close it out, you know?
But they're a very different lineup.
I'm not excited.
Who else picked Sven and Darkseer in 2018 or in 2017?
They must be confused.
This is... I kind of hope it works because we just don't see it, but at the same time, it's hard to feel super confident in these heroes in this sort of meta. No one really plays Sven.
I think Darkseer and Sven are the two easiest heroes to hate. I would say a surprising amount of people honestly pick Sven, but then it feels like every time you watch a Sven game, it just feels awful. Because it has to be so precise. Everything has to go so well. You know, you have to blink in, you have to stun, you have to ulti, you have to get this damage off, you're hitting your Mask of Madness or something, and if anything stops that full initiation from happening, maybe like a snowball, or perhaps a nightmare, things, you know, they don't go so well. But... our previous game, Penta, they played so well around that Lifestealer. They enabled him. They made it so Oliver had this fantastic game. So the question is, can they do it again with what I would say is a much harder hero to make it work? Because if they can, there's other great options. You know, this Warcry, it looks amazing. You want to pick this hero. It feels so good against Lycan and all his heroes. Or his summons, rather. So, nice play.
Oh, there we go. On to Misery. Stun into stun. Do they have the damage, though? Doesn't look like they do. They'll turn towards more tasty target. Arteezy, he's got to be careful. He'll take quite a bit of a punch. I mean, they're both getting brought down quite low. Rotation comes in from Crit. Shards out onto DNC. Quick Burrow Strike to break himself away. So they won't quite get kills, but at the least they will be able to secure the bounty runes up here still. Misery is looking towards Oliver. We'll continue to chase down the Sven, and we'll see what sort of lanes do come out of this, because at the moment Sven is up towards the top. Yet to see anyone get themselves to the mid lane, so there's going to be a bit of a free opening for Sumail's Bat as he has that first wave to himself. RMM will be turning up alongside the Sven, as it seems, so deciding to bring the Sven into this matchup against the Bat and putting the Timbersaw up towards the top lane. So do you think was this the plan all along, or is this just avoiding a certain matchup?
Yeah, this is definitely the way the EG... You know, well, ideally, they want the Timbersaw up against someone who he punishes. So if you're Arc right now, you know, you want to punish somebody like the Lycan, or you want to punish the PL. So he's happy to be in at least one of those two lanes. And EG, certainly I would say hoping that maybe that it was going to be the Timber mid up against the Bat. See if they make any sort of rotations. But for now, as long as the Timber doesn't have too many levels, he can't do all too much against either Lycan or PL. Lycan is also certainly the better hero to be up against the Darkseer, because you have that natural regen. At the start, it's not too much, but once you get second point into the Feral Impulse, he's much like this Timbersaw or this Dragon Knight, where he's pretty sustainable up against the Ion Shells.
Let's see how much Oliver can get out of this mid lane. He does have a lot of backup. Ironman and Boogie will be there to assist him. Sumail has the help of Crit.
Yeah, that's a scary combo, man. You know, one of these supports gets stuck inside that little ice shards with all of that fire pouring on top of you, the napalm's raining down.
Absolutely, there's definite potential for kills for EG if Penta make a step in the wrong place. Boogie coming back towards mid with this Darkseer. So hang on, is this another bit of a lane switch up? I mean, Oliver going towards top. Boogie is now in the mid lane. I mean, this is...
I like how they timed this so that he's rotating along with the bounty runes, trying to grab it as they make the lane switches, so at least it's not totally wasted. And he does get it.
A bit of trouble here. We'll turn around and get the two-man stun now. Actually, with the help of RMN, it could be Penta to get the kill. They are going to miss the stun from the Lesh, but they have the Burrow Strike connection. And Penta, they will get themselves their first bird. Trying to set it up nicely here for Oliver, but he can't quite get... Oh no, because they were trying to do that. The first bird actually ended up going to EG as Sumail picks up the Darkseer. So that bit of a hesitation, that trying to be nice to the core, it loses them the first blood.
That's pretty brutal. But it's so important. Like, it's so much gold from the kill. So it's still worth it, honestly. But yes, extremely unfortunate for Penta. And well played by Sumail in the mid. And so that means that, yeah, they rotate again. They got Fear versus the Ion Shell. Very happy. Oh, the biggest and baddest Wolves. Most pro Lycan games. Sylar up top. I can understand that. Fear only 26 games, whereas, you know, number 2, Arteezy on the team here. And look at that win rate, too. 77.8. I mean, he had a hell of a time with that hero on the pass.
He's just a boy that wants to play PL.
Yeah. I noticed that his Roman numerals, he's 12, by the way.
Oh, is that? I wonder if that's what he's going for. But here we have it. Another kill for Penta. Oliver getting himself away. No, he's not. He'll be able to bring down with the brain set, but does cost him his life. 2 for 1. Trade in the favour of Penta. Actually looking towards Arteezy. Have they got the spells to bring him down? They have one stun. I've got the backup of Crit once again in this lane. So Arteezy will be Burrow Strike. Crit is there. Arteezy getting low. Snowball to buy him time. He'll look for the stun, but the Doppelganger is out just in time. So Arteezy will keep himself safe though. Crit, a bit of a different story though, with Oliver turning back into the lane, has the stun. They're looking to dive in one more. They needed a couple more. It's not going to be quite enough. Crit will survive, as they can't quite get the kill, but it will kick in off on that top lane.
Yeah, it looks like bottom lane we also still have the Timbersaw versus the Batrider, so
okay.
Timber not getting that punish that he wants.
Yeah.
So he doesn't even have 2 points in reactive because it doesn't really matter all that much. So he's trying to pressure Sumail. I like that. Takes the 2 points in the chain instead. But Sumail has that early bottle. We've seen this from a lot of offliners lately. You know, especially if you're super mobile or something like this, where you're this Batrider who could just like nuke a wave and then go collect those 2 bounty runes. It's so much mana back for yourself if you get both of them like that. And obviously the extra gold from the bounty certainly doesn't hurt. 24, 21, and 20 for the Dire side. Cores looking very good in the lane so far.
Let's see how much Oliver can catch up in this top lane. As you say, falling behind in CS on the Sven. Putting some more focus towards helping him with DNZ and RMN, sticking around on the SK and Leshrac combo. We've got the triple stun. Still lacking sort of the damage at these levels, especially Arteezy now hitting level 5, having that Misery Bane. There's a lot of chances for Arteezy to play himself out of tricky situations.
Yeah, it's like they've just been so much more stable on the side of EG. Arteezy's just chilling up top, so naturally you're going to get more CS. You know, you don't have to walk around this whole map. And it's the side of Penta that's been more forced in these rotations.
There we go. DNZ looking for the opening. There's the Burrow Strike into the Lesh stun. This should be a dead. Bane is the damage. Yeah, yes it is. That's Misery down on the Bane. Arteezy will be fine, of course. This is another kill for Penta, and these little kills are definitely going to help them step up, as you say, after sort of this moving around, falling behind on CS. If they can get kills with the new lane setups, it's all worth it for Penta.
Yeah, but with this setup too, both the supports are engaged up top. You have the Sand King and the Leshrac, so no one's really roaming around, maybe setting up some stacks or something like that. It doesn't look like... well, they might be back in time near the Shrine there too to get a couple more, but certainly the economy game here for Penta that we're going to be watching out for. We want to see that Sven explode up as... yeah, did they make it here in time? Oh, what gamers. Excellently done. Certainly well planned to come back for the Shrine and get that done. I mean, that's the thing about Sven. It's all about execution. It's hitting that timing, and you can't miss it, or the game just feels off.
Yeah, I mean, he is one of those heroes that can absolutely flash farm if you can get the stacks up. We'll see if they go for any sort of ancient stacking as well. As it'll certainly help Oliver propel himself to that point in the mid-game where he can be an incredibly dominant force. If he finds the opportunity to move around in the fight, since we said that's already going to be quite tricky with the kiting and control that he can offer.
All those bounty runes. Sumail's almost level 7. Like, and he keeps grabbing all of them down there.
Top lane, got DNZ finding the opening onto Crit. Crit's down. So the problem with these two supports, they can certainly help Arteezy if he gets gone on, but if Penta goes on with the combo onto one of them, they're in trouble. And now Arteezy, he's actually overstepped the mark a little bit. He has got the stick charges. The stun's there from Oliver to hold him back. Crit now back in, looking to roll forward onto Oliver. Setting up onto this Sven. Can they bring him down? Burrow Strike across the DNZ, but it's actually not going to do anything at all because Arteezy can jump forward. Still looking for Oliver. Ironman's trying with the body blocks. Oliver able to turn with the stun. Oliver's going to get out. He's back to safety. DNZ is fine, as well as Iron Man, and now the rotation is coming from Boogie with the Iron Shells. They're looking for kills themselves. Ice Shard, it's got the raindrops. That's going to save the Sand King, and now Boogie just giving them the slow but painful rundown. Arteezy comes back in, throws out the Spirit Lance. Can they kill Boogie? They cannot. Both sides playing around on very low health.
I can tell you I did not watch any of that. I was watching the minimap. Sumail got a solo kill on the Timbersaw down there with the use of a regen rune. It was crazy. He chased them all the way back to tier 2 and back. Had to use the lasso as well. So Sumail has totally dominated that lane. And losing that Timbersaw so early is so painful for Penta.
Look at this rotation from Fair.
Oh, he's going to find him too.
This is the dream rotation with a Lycan. You move in straight away and he gets a very smart double kill.
Yeah, EG are just firing on all 3 lanes right now. Yeah. Looking very good. And... happy for Sumail too. So Arcus just like come mid. He's got 0, 2, 3. Doesn't really do much in the mid lane. Can't harass with Rolling Death or anything like that. And again, he's going to get both of these bounty runes. And Sumail is way up there.
Yeah, nearing level 9.
Blink Dagger already done.
Oliver in trouble as well as Crit and RTZ move forward. TP from DNC will be there. Boogie's around as well. They can look to try and fight this, at least potentially take down Crit once again on the Tusk, as they're given the rundown, and I don't think Crit's getting himself out of this one, and he certainly isn't as he pops to the Caustic Finale. Bottom lane, look at this aggression from Sumail. He needs TPs, I remember, but he's not going to get them with the moves that Penta have already made elsewhere. Oliver's going to walk his way down there, but it's not anything that he can do to save him. He could be in trouble himself, Oliver. Oliver's got to be careful. Firefly is about to wear out, so that may keep him safe mid lane. A very close call for R because he timber changes his way, but Sumail, now with these stacks, he just chases it down and he gets it. Sumail is walking away with this game. 4 kills on the Batrider. They really need to kill him. They may just have him with a combo of DNZ and RMN, and it looks like they should be able to punish him. The final right click flies through and they do put an end to Sumail's reign. But what a time he's been having on this bottom half of the map. The Bat is getting wildly out of control.
Yeah,
a very important kill for Penta.
Too.
Yeah?
Fear gets the mid tower because of it. Boogie can't even do anything as a Darkseer. And he's not ready. That's one thing about Darkseer. You know, we talked about the Sven this game, but we mentioned how Darkseer has been a hero that has certainly seen a lot less play over the past year compared to the previous years. You know, that one more vacuum cooldown seemed to just kind of do it, but this build of the Ion Shell and maxing the Surge has become a lot more popular as we start to see him appear a bit more often. But in the end, he's still quite slow. He needs those big items. He needs items that make him feel tanky so that he can survive in the fight. He needs items for some mobility so he can get off good vacuums. Certainly a very greedy guy to have on your squad.
Oh, Sumail, he's found himself a level 5 Sven. He's going to look to try and play around with it as well as he blinks forward, but it's a bit of a trap. There's 4 heroes on Penta and Sumail. Oh, he had a great start, but that's a second kill that he's given up in quick succession. Fear has come forward. He's looking towards Oliver. Oliver slowed down, turned with the stern onto the army of wolves, and will be able to get himself out of there. But Sumail, as good of a start as he's had, he's got to be careful of giving away these kills, because these are some of the higher value kills that Penta can take at this stage.
Yeah, he's doing the whole Broodmother Pinata thing down there. You get crazy ahead and everything, you feed a few kills away in a row, and suddenly it's like you were never anywhere up in the first place. So, meanwhile, through all of this, a familiar theme remains from the previous game. Arteezy sits in a lane.
Yeah.
He has not moved. Yeah, doing a great job at it. Slaying them all. Look at that catapult. Oh, doesn't stand a chance. Oh, God, the bloodshed. And
we'll see if he follows through on this. He's actually queuing up the Diffusal Blade first this game, so obviously skipping the Battle Fury that we have seen been pretty much the favourable build among PLs at this moment in this current meta. So we'll see if he sticks through that. And obviously with the Diffusal Blade earlier, that is going to add to his fighting potential, and maybe they realised that was the problem last game. You know, too much time focused on hitting the creeps and not enough time making use of the hero in fights. Bottom lane, another kill for Sumail as he gets himself back on a roll, as DNC is out alone, trying to find that solo XP in that farm towards his first key items.
Can't believe they're behind in kills. It's felt like the past couple minutes have just been so much for EG, but just a little bit on the early side for Penta. They took a lot right at the beginning, but EG, of course, getting the more valuable ones as the game progresses. And they will once again march this bottom tower. And they had a Dragonite last game.
Look at Sumail go in. He's there straight away with the control tower. Remember, it looks like there's just no follow-up. And in fact, Fear, he's now the one in trouble. 4 heroes surround him. Fear's down. And, I mean, Sumail went in, but it looks like Crit didn't want to follow up that deep under the tower. Yeah. And miscommunication, it has to be. Otherwise, Sumail, he wouldn't go for that play if he realized his team was going to bail like that.
Felt pretty aggressive when Lycan didn't have his ulti yet either. It was still on cooldown. It just came back up a few seconds ago. So Fear perhaps just not expecting them to be so close. But I will say the aggression in this game has been crazy. Like last game, they had a safe lane Dragonite. Like that's what Fear was playing. And he still hasn't been able to move around to towers or anything like that when he was playing that hero. Now, when you look at this Lycan, he's just all over the place. Trying to create more space for Arteezy, much like last game, but think about how Sumail was farmed and unable to do anything with it before. This is a much better look for EG. It's giving them a bigger lead than they had previously. And there is still that question, though, of just like what can Arteezy actually contribute this game? Will it be something a bit more active, or will he just continue to be this wave clearer?
10 to 8, Arteezy closing in on that Diffusal Blade. Oliver and well, 4 members of Penta. They are looking up towards that top lane.
He's struggling.
Yeah,
he has 3,600 net worth. on a Sven at 13 minutes. His levels aren't looking too hot either.
I mean, the thing is, because Arteezy is going for the Diffusal Blade build and not the Battle Fury, if this game does turn into a more passive farm fest, if Penta can allow it to do so, Oliver, he can definitely catch up, but you're right, yeah, it is going to take a lot of time.
They have 5 heroes that can clear waves on the side of Penta, which is pretty nice. EG have like kind of 3.5, like Tusk is kind of okay, and Bane's pretty awful.
As we can see, just a reminder, at the weekend we will be giving away graphic cards.
For those rampages. This won't be a rampage. It'll be possibly 1 kill?
Oh, I don't know, he's got the doppelganger, and ooh, that vacuum! It might not just be 1, it may be 2, as they're moving on to Misery. Chris going to be there with the snowball forward. Samael turning up as well, trying to save his teammates. DNC Burrow strikes him very aggressively, and he's going to get gripped up by Misery, so they'll lose the Sand King. But they did get Arteezy. Anytime they can get the chance to bring down a PL, only losing one of your supports, they will absolutely take that. Arg, the bounty rune. Samael does still have a DD, and he may be in trouble here. Yeah, that snowball's going to catch him out. He actually brings down Crit with him, but he does lose his life. And Samael able to pick up a double kill. And still, as we can see, all 3 of EG's cores still top of the net worth this game.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's not a feel-good item on Timbersaw when you have to rush Solar Crest first. But in this game against PL and Lycan, there's a ton of value for it. But Timbersaw's not really enjoying that, I would say. You don't get a lot of value for yourself in terms of damage.
Oh, look at Samael go. He's trying to set up for more, but he is going deep. He does have fear, though, and between the lasso and the right clicks of this wolf, there's no chance for Sven.
Oh, the body blocks in the surge.
Very nice from Fear. I mean, does he have the follow-up stun in time? He can't.
It lasts so long when it's maxed out.
Yeah, a little too speedy. But Samael, I mean, sure, we saw him, he died a couple of times down bottom, but overall this game, he has been doing some massive plays for the side on the bat. I feel like his bat pretty much the sole reason why EG are this 5k lead. He's been making so many aggressive plays this game, and that he was just unable to do on the puck in the last time around. But now on the bat, a bit more of a better solo killing potential, as we've seen with the Firefly and the sticky napalm usage, and the constant way that he's been chasing down heroes. It's cost him his life a couple of times, but overall, strong stuff from the Samael Batrider.
It felt like at one point Penta just kind of gave up and let that matchup of the Batrider and the Timber stick, and Samael just abused the hell of it with that bottle. Like, going back and watching that, I think it's going to look like one of the best performances so far in terms of what Samael's been able to achieve in this off-lane maneuver. And he got that 1v1, you know? This is the thing that he's been looking for, trying to find this way where he can, like, outskill, outthink his opponent, and I would say that's exactly what happened here. He had the favorable matchup anyway, but just so much experience from Bounty Runes on a Batrider like that is just absurd. And then able to solo kill the Timbersaw after that.
NZ, they have the vision, that's the question.
Could use some dust, though. There's been a few of these, I will say. You know, all things aside, that might be a good thing to add.
They've still got him, though. They have got the Fiend's grip. As they will be able to catch him, trying to sneak away with the Burrow Strike. Up top, Fear actually looking for a bit of a kill potential to Iron Man, but he's going to back off. A little too scared of what potentially hides behind that Leshrac.
Oh, this is the Fear of old, though, man. 16.5 minutes in, 8.3k.
Yeah, that's classic Fear.
Necro 3, done. So much control over the Roche pit now, too, with that Batrider. They just get a single pick, they can hop in, shred it instantly, or they can just apply a ton of pressure on any of these tier 2s. I like that circle from Samael. He's just kind of eyeing up that whole area around, like, basically from tier 2 top to tier 2 mid, and then in toward that Radiant jungle. That's where he wants the vision, because that's where he knows these heroes from Penta are going to be lurking, lingering. They want to find some farm for themselves, try and push out waves, and so he wants to get these big jumps with the blink from there.
And, I mean, as we've seen, he can kill many of these heroes on his own. If Misery's there with a Fiend's grip, they can definitely kill any of the heroes on Penta's side.
They're stacking the Radiant Ancients. That's how you know this game is not going well. Like, not a good sign.
Arteezy with that Diffusal Blade finished. We'll see how he does decide to play it in terms of getting involved. Obviously on the Diffusal instead of the old Battle Fury. Do they have detection? They're only got the snowball across. There we go, that works as well. I just love the Burrow Strike. But EG should be able to chase this with the shards and the Flame Break knockback. DNZ will go down. Another kill for Samael on his Batrider. No need for detection.
No, that must just be cheating, I think, you know. And you got to pay 180 for detection. So often you say, okay, well, the kills pay for themselves because you get some gold back. But honestly, if you can just get the kills anyway, that's fine.
And mid lane, they're looking for another one, EG. They have to set up Fiend's Grips there to hold down this big old Timbersaw. He'll be punched up. He's got a little bit of mana left, but it's not enough. He's down. Top lane Fear actually popping the ult, trying to fight around Boogie and Oliver. But will hold down the army. In fact, pops the gold strength to farm those tasty necro. Or at least just the one of them, as it seems.
Yep. I like the way Fear just kind of like puts on that pressure, but then he backs away. He doesn't want to commit too hard. He doesn't want to give anything to spend. They can tell he's struggling. You know, they've had a lot of vision on the rating side of the map. They know he hasn't been farming up all that much, and he's still pretty far behind. I would say a decent comeback so far for himself, but nowhere near where Sven wants to be at this point in the game.
It's going to take a fair bit of time. The question is if EG are going to give it to them, because already they're 5k in the lead. They have this insane pushing power, this insane aggression, and the way that Sumail is just constantly invading Penta's half of the map.
Oh, and it's the poor gold on the Dire this game, too, for EG. It's the Blink Dagger already done for our Tusk, and that is so huge against Sven. Their big comeback in this game is the Vacuum and the big Burrow Strike. Yeah, they got a Wombo, but it's Crit. He's the combo breaker. He's going to blink on in there, throw up a snowball, everyone inside, waste all this time during Sven's ulti. They'll have to be careful about some of the follow-up plays from that, though, because they do have some decent AoE to counter the snowball and everything as they come back out. But overall, I would call that a pretty big win for the side of EG. But at the same time, double blinks.
That's the blinks. Yeah, this is this is a massive go time. I mean, they've got level 2 on Oliver. Sure, he's not incredibly farm. Yep. Level 2 God Strength with the combo, you can definitely cut through EG's lineup. You do need a perfect jump in, but with those 2 blinks, that's double the chance of getting those heroes caught out. So we'll see what they can do with this. At the moment, Oliver just pushing out bottom, hoping to sort of bait EG into the neighborhood.
This fight is very scary, though, because even if they, let's say they kill Fear instantly, the catch from the side of EG is very strong. You've got this Blink with a snowball from Crit. Yeah, you've got a Bat Rider who's going to be flying all through. You've got a PL who can keep up very well using the Phantom Rush as well as just Doppelgangers. So they basically want that kill, and they need to like retreat as a unit or like 5-man push and like keep on that aggression. Like keep casting their spells, don't miss anything, because one slip up and they could be like fully 5-man wiped after even a pick onto Fear, I would say.
We'll see here Oliver putting some pressure on with the God Strength to the tier 1 tower. EG not really falling for the bait, as it were. I think they should be aware that there's backup
already
behind.
Done. So
RTZ going to be feeling very safe for that Aegis. Crit, I think he's going to catch with the Ice Shine. In fact, Crit's going to be the one to be jumped on the back lines. He's got the snowball buying himself some time. I'll actually be able to connect the first stun onto RTZ. They won't be able to follow through, though, as the rest of EG come in. Misery has the Fiend's Grip, holding this Sven in place. That's Oliver down. Timbersaw also falling low. Can he get himself out of this one? No, he can't. That's a double kill for RTZ, and he's not done yet. EG chased towards DNZ as he tries to hide in the jungle, but he cannot do so. 3 kills for Evil Geniuses as they manage to climb further and further ahead, getting the Roche, getting a very, very successful team fight, as they seemed very aware of the play that Penta were going for. You know, pushing solo with Sven and hiding. They knew that there was going to be a surprise. They knew that there was going to be an ambush, and EG were able to punish it.
Yeah, looking very good this game. Been much more aggressive, got a lot more gold, much bigger lead. 20 minutes, of course. And with that Roche secured so early, like this game's so hard for Penta.
And this should be another one. There is the rest of EG coming in. Crit with the control onto our man. Got the knockback with the flame break, and RTZ picks up another kill. And I think it's just sort of the way that EG's read the series. They know that RTZ, if he gets involved, you know, he's a smart kid. They can play some fantastic team fights. And last game, he was hitting creeps. You know, it felt like a wasted opportunity. You want to be brawling in these games, you know, when the enemy team wants to fight as much as they do. And getting the Diffusal Blade first this game rather than the Battle Fury has certainly made things a lot easier so far for EG.
And that and Fear. Like, neither of them were involved last game, really. At least in the more important parts of the game where Sumail needed someone to help him get kills to actually accelerate that puck. This game, his Bat Rider not only played well solo, and again won his lane, but he got a little bit of assistance, too, for those quick pickoffs. Try and take them just a little bit further ahead of Penta. So you look at this lineup from Penta and you're like, okay, you know, I've seen these games. Okay, I've seen comebacks. And you know who's in a comeback game? Darkseer, the Vacuum. You know who else is there? Sven. He cleaves through 5 people all at once. Timbersaw, he can be pretty annoying. He split pushes, he helps keep out the waves. But those kind of games don't tend to happen, I would say, against more of the experienced teams. So you can kind of expect EG to be a little bit more chill on this one, I would imagine.
Oh, can they get it in time? So close. Nearly getting.
That's impressive.
Before he's out. At the same time, though, RTZ finds himself a kill there with the help. There has Fierce actually pushing in onto Boogie. Boogie backing away. Fortification does get forced out as well from the side of Penta. So this is It really is, as you say, it's all about the wombo combo. Can they land it? It's going to be incredibly hard to do so.
And the worst part is that means your opponents generally have to screw up.
Yeah.
Oh, that flame break!
Oh, knocks him back mid-timber chain. He's not getting out of there. Sumail with more than enough control. As this game is looking to fall quite quickly out of hand for Penta. They're 11k behind, 20-12 as EG take the lead. Ro4 will be fine for now, as it seems, as he gets himself back up to the high ground. EG surely going to be looking to threatening the base of Penta very, very shortly.
What do we have to kind of force them into these poor decisions? We have the double blink, I guess, from the Darkseer and the Sand King, so if there's any sort of a dive from Fear, but he's got that big BKB now too, so the wombo combo, that's a pretty good combo breaker too, I hear. Nice and golden toasty.
Quick burst strike onto Arteezy, but Penta going to be thinking very hard before making any sort of commitment outside of their high ground now. It's very scary to leave their base.
They're probably back away from the computers again, and they've got the whiteboard, and they're trying to draw up how this is going to work out. You know, one guy's just kind of moving guys around the,
Someone's got to
the
do
base,
the math.
so it looks okay, but yeah, they're doing some serious calculations here as to how they're going to win this one. They should try that DDoS strat. I thought that was looking pretty good from EG.
Pretty good, yeah, from EG in game one.
They should have continued that strategy.
Yeah, it's close.
Darkseer, what a hero.
Nearly got the Greaves, hasn't he? I think he pretty much got the money for the recipe on yeah, that's just coming out to him right now. So all the auras, all the buffs for the team. Oliver would love to have his blink as well. That's one thing about getting the combo with the Darkseer and the Sand King. Yeah, I've got the Sven in place, it's not going to do too much. Walzak's going to be dropped. The stun onto one, he's trying to move forward towards Misery, but the Enfeeble's out. Misery slides himself away. Can they actually kill the Bane? I don't think they can. He turns around, he's got the Fiend's Grip. Crit's the one to be falling low and Wool. He's actually going to live. They can't quite bring him down, and now the turnaround's going to be there for EG, surely. Penta, Oliver falling low. They do manage to pop the Aegis of Arteezy, but can they actually kill him a second time? They'll get the two-man stun from RMN, and they're simply looking to try and disengage. RMN, can he get out of there? DNZ comes back in with a burst strike. In fact, with the massive amounts of magical damage, brings Sumail very low, but not quite low enough. Sumail's going to survive. There's 4 dead on Penta. None of them have buyback. They'll just tap out. GG is called, and we are going to a game 3 as EG step things up for game 2. And as you say, Arteezy and Fear step it up. Sumail, he had a pretty solid game in game 1. Wasn't able to do too much of it because his other cores couldn't really contribute, but this game was an absolute different story. This time, all 3 of them were able to just do so much.
He also turned the jersey around the right way this time.
That's true.
That probably is what really turned this one around, I think.
Things.
His team wasn't quite as confused as to who that guy was playing on the PC, but Penta, I would have been extremely impressed if they won this game with that draft.
It's
like that's so hard to execute. Everything has to be perfect, pretty much flawless. You have to have these stacks, you get these initiations, you need so many items on the Sven, and that just means you're like hoping your opponents just don't do anything. I mean, I kind of felt like game 1, honestly. They really didn't do much, so maybe they thought they could abuse that again, but this time EG were far too aggressive to go for a play like that.
Absolutely, yeah. The change up in the PL build, all very smart stuff from EG, and this does bring us to that game 3 that's going to be coming up, so don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, as EG versus Penta sits 1-1 at the moment. But we'll hand you back to Paul and the lads on the panel for now.
Thanks very much, Owen. Yes, 1-1, all tied up, and where 3 cores didn't work in game 1, all 3 cores worked in game 2. Let's get the thoughts of Nahaz and Fogged on game 2. Very thorough victory. It was a very big bounce-back victory for EG this time round.
Yeah, I mean, it just felt like in game 1, we thought that EG had the clearer path to victory, and they just didn't execute. And it felt like in game 2, they gave themselves a little bit bigger advantage in the draft, but they executed. And I thought, once Fogg said that at the very end, that the Batrider was going to be mid, and kind of
paid him, by the way.
Hey, he wouldn't take the money.
I declined the money.
He wouldn't take it.
Good guy,
I'm not going to take money from him.
Good guy, Fogg.
Here was the thing. Once you said that, it just sort of crystallized the lanes for me, and it let me understand that, because I was convinced at that point that it was going to be Arteezy PL mid, that it was going to be Fear PL mid.
Yeah, and
once I realized
carry,
that
Lycan.
it was going to be Arteezy, and then it was going to be Fear on the Lycan that was a very, very favorable Lycan game. yeah, I was much more confident in EG.
I liked what Trent said at the end there. I think the last game showed a lot of this like ease of execution. This one is a lot harder to execute, and I don't think that's a style that I think Penta should try to go for in this type of the game. And also, I think they kind of drafted themselves into a corner with the Timber pick. They drafted, it's like a single core Sven into a Bat Rider Bane. These two hard, well, I guess they didn't see the...
Bat was last.
The Bat was last.
The Bat was last.
The Bat was last, but they already had the Bane, right? So Bane versus Sven is already one of the hardest because that hard lockdown through BKB. Get the Bat as well.
Add in the Bat.
It's already really, really tough for Penta. Like Trent was saying, he's like, I would have been really surprised if they did get this one to come through.
Yeah, so what we said in the draft even was that if this went late enough that it became a single core Sven game, that okay, you've got single core Sven against 2 BKB piercing disables, done. Okay,
you're out.
But what I didn't necessarily see at the end of the draft was that Bat Rider versus Timbersaw is very unfavorable for the Timber, and because Timber and Darkseer were never going to be able to farm into the game, it was going to be a single core Sven lineup much earlier than I thought initially.
Do you think even like a Miracle or an Ace could have done better in that game? Because that was not a good game for the Timber, was it?
No, I think that all the lanes were just crap show. They didn't have like anywhere to kind of go. It's like Timber's like, oh god, I can't go mid. Then they throw Sven mid, and they're like, wait, we need our Sven to be super farmed, and now he's getting absolutely nothing. He's level 4, getting dove past his tier 2 by like a level 8 or 9 Bat Rider. That's
and Timbersaw needs, just the way the hero is built, his kit, he needs to be the hero that's diving.
I think if you're, well, the other thing is too is I looked at the cores right after like when we like sat back down, and I was like, Sven, Darkseer Timber, Darkseer Timber. It's very awkward.
Yeah,
because what do they really do for you in a game? They don't really provide a lot. These two heroes are very weak right now in the patch, and they don't take objectives. All these guys want to do is take these fights, but Darkseer isn't really that great at it.
We were talking about like who plays Timber these days, and it is literally Ace now and again, Miracle obviously, but beyond that, not really.
Yeah, it's pretty low down there.
Very rarely used. So.
Especially now too with like, I mean, not just that the hero doesn't give you push or objective taking, it's like Spirit Vessel gets added in and you just get owned by that item. You get no regen at all during these fights.
How much of this victory do you give to EG rather than a poorer performance by Penta?
Oh, I think this was all about just EG riding the ship. I think this was all about, look guys, we have a lineup we're confident in, we think we've given ourselves a draft advantage, let's just not screw it up. And again, it's little things. It really does come down to little things like Arteezy switching up the item build on the PL. Forget the Battle Fury, right? Battle Fury only gives them a bigger window to pull off one of these teamfight wombo combos. Let's go back to bases, get that Diffusal Manta, and play a more classic PL game.
Was it more comfort for Samael as well in that game?
Yeah, I just really like this like faster type of pace of playing. When you have like this Dazzle that's sitting back that can't make plays, you're playing full reactionary. They have this Bane. Sure, he didn't really have to do too much in this game, but they can just make these plays more naturally, and it's just faster. They have this Lycan. They have the Lycan actually just ran around and killed people. Well, I think Arteezy just kind of farmed the Diffusal and then came into the game afterwards. So it was just Bat Rider and Lycan destroying this game.
Yeah, and I mean, just looking at the damage output, right? 4 of the EG heroes between 7 and 10k, and then you've got Sumail and the Bat Rider sitting up there at 18k. Really, everybody, all 5 EG heroes looked like they were in the game, had a role in the game from the beginning. You compare that in the last game where Fear's Dragon Knight just never was a factor.
Yeah, I mean, I said right at the very start, the 3 cores last time just didn't do anything in the entire game, couldn't get them going. This time, all 3 on the run. Just taking over the entire game and the net worth. So, good performance. I guess we'll get some thoughts from you fairly shortly. We'll get off to a break in a moment and we'll head into a third game. I can't even believe that this has gone 3 games because when we started this, I was told by EG fans admittedly, was a straightforward 2-0 stomp for their EG boys. Not so. We're tied up at 1-1. Game 3 is coming next.
As you get older, life becomes